wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Aisyah binti Aziz and my metric number is 059691. Okay, today I am going to give you a brief introduction about Islamic law. Islamic law, which is also known as Sharia or also referred to as Sharia, may be a religious law forming a part of the Islamic tradition. It is derived from the Quran and also from the Hadith. In Arabic, the term Sharia refers to God's immutable law. To simplify it in a simple sentence for a better understanding, it can be seen as the outflow of God's order for Muslims. Before the coming of British to Malay states, Islamic law was the law of the land and only a Muslim has a right of succession regulated by the laws of Islam. During the British administration, the status of Islamic law was recognized by the civil courts and non-Muslims is excluded from Islamic law. The Malay rulers agreed to accept the advice of British advisors in all matters except on questions pertaining to Islamic law and Malay customs. However, Islamic law and its administration had been interfered by British, either directly or indirectly. As a consequence, the jurisdiction of Sharia court was restricted and the Sharia court was made inferior to the civil courts. According to the traditional Muslim view, the major precepts of Sharia were passed down directly from the Prophet Muhammad without any historical development. In this view, his companions and followers took what he did and approved it as a model, which is known as Sunnah, and transmitted this information to the succeeding generations in the form of Hadith. These reports led to informal discussion and then systematic legal thought with greater success in the 8th and 9th centuries by the master of jurists Abu Hanifah, Malik ibn Anas al-Shafi'i and Ahmad ibn Hanbal, who are viewed as the founders of the Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i and Hanbali legal schools, or known as Mazhab. In Malaysia, Sharia refers to Sharia law in Islamic religious law and deals with exclusively Islamic laws, having jurisdiction upon every Muslim in Malaysia, and the court is known as the Sharia court. The Constitution of Malaysia provides for a special and unique dual justice system, which is known as the secular laws for criminal and civil, and therefore the Sharia laws. The dual system is provided in Article 121, Clause 1A of the Constitution of Malaysia. In Malaysian legal system, Sharia law plays a small role in defining the laws of the country as it only applies to the Muslims. With regards to civil law, the Sharia courts have jurisdiction in personal law matters, for instance, marriage, inheritance and apostasy. In some states, there are Sharia criminal laws. For example, the Kelantan Sharia Criminal Code Enactment 1993. Their jurisdiction is restricted to imposing fines for an amount less than 5,000 ringgit Malaysia and imprisonments less than 3 years only. For example, in the case of Sheikh Abdul Latif versus Sheikh Ilyas Baks, the court held that the validity of a will of Muslim who domicile in Federated Malay States is governed by the Islamic law. Before British arrivals, the only law applicable in Malay States is Islamic law modified by local customs.